So, welcome to my next episode of Where To. This time we speak about Bali in Indonesia. This time I speak a little bit more about how to travel and where to travel in Bali. So at first, Bali is pretty cheap, so I would recommend not to bring your own board. Instead of that, buy one board over there. So you can buy pretty good shaped boards like for 200 US dollars in there, and if you want to have really the big brands, it starts from 350 US dollars. It's a lot cheaper than everywhere else. There are a lot of tailors which make custom-made board bags, and a board bag is between 20 and $50 for a double board bag, for example. And it's a very good thing to get a new board and bring it back home. So when you arrive at Bali airport, I would recommend just to spend the first night or the first 2 nights in Kuta or Seminyak or in Canggu, which is a little bit further north from the airport, not far away, like 3, 4, 5, 10 kilometers. It depends on where you go. For example, if you stay in Kuta or in Seminyak, there are a lot of board shapers, and the first nights you just can walk around, have a look in the cities. It's not super beautiful, the beaches are not super beautiful, but it's easy to get a new board in there and get some stuff like clothes, t-shirts, sport shorts, and everything you need. And from there on, I would recommend to just check out that area. So for example, a little bit further north is Canggu. It's a really mellow vibed hippie town with a lot of party as well, and a big beach. The beach is not beautiful, but the waves are pretty easy to surf. Sometimes it's quite big, but they are round shaped waves, so it's easy for beginners. There are a lot of surf schools. There's party at the beach at night. There's party in every restaurant and bar, and there are a lot of international restaurants and bars. So it's pretty cool to stay in there. Most people go there and they stay there the whole holiday because they like the atmosphere in there. But if you stay there, the wave in front is pretty crowded with a lot of beginners, so it's recommendable to just take a motorbike and just go further north, like half an hour further north. There are a lot of empty waves, so you can surf there. It's all beach breaks, or most of it is beach breaks, and you can surf there the bigger waves just by yourself. You just have to get out of the villages. Once you're there, take your motorbike or take a bus or transportation service to go to the south of Bali. In the south of Bali, there's a lot of famous spots and beach breaks, and you can find incredible waves like Uluwatu, like Bingin Beach, like Padang Padang. So all the famous spots are in the south of Bali, and it's a pretty nice area. It's a little bit more mellow. It's not that crowded. It's crowded as well, but not that crowded like in Canggu, for example. But these surf spots are a little bit more for intermediates or like professionals. It depends on the wave size and the swell size. So check this area out. It's pretty nice to stay in there. There are a lot of nice hotels, pretty cheap hostels, and you will meet a lot of cool people over there, and most of the things you can do with your motorbike. Every motorbike has a board rack, so you can take your board and just cruise around the island. And when you're down there, check out the totally south of Bali. It's for example Timbis Beach. Pretty nice to surf, a lot of different surf spots and a lot of different peaks. So it's for beginners, for intermediate and professional as well. So once you check that area and stay there a few days, I would recommend to check out the islands next to Bali, the small islands like Nusa Penida, Nusa Penida. Those ones are pretty nice to surf. If there's a bigger swell, there's a lot of surf spots around, and it is from beginners to intermediate to professional, and it's a pretty nice mellow vibe in there because it's not that crowded. Most people stay on Bali. Just a few travel over to the small islands, which is pretty easy. You can rent a transportation service. It's about $35 each person, included the ferry boat. You can go over with your luggage and your board and stay there, and it's pretty nice in there. Once you're there, check out Nusa Penida, which is a little bit bigger island. Sometimes it has, when there's a bigger swell, it has nice waves, but it's more famous for its famous beaches like Killing King Beach and Diamond Beach. You can see it in every news feed of the Instagrammers, influencers, and yeah, these beaches are amazing. But if you're afraid of heights, it's not easy to climb down there. Here I would recommend you to go to the Gili Islands. The Gili Islands are a small island group in front of Lombok, the next bigger island, and those are 3 islands: Gili Trawangan, Gili Meno, and Gili Air. Gili Trawangan is like the most famous party area where you can have party all day and all night, and it's a little bit only the drunk people and have a party, a lot of party, but you can surf in there as well. If there's a bigger swell, there are a lot of surf spots. If you want to have it more relaxed and more quiet, go to Gili, which is really quiet. There's nothing around, just a few hostels or small hotels and pretty nice lonesome beaches, and you can surf there as well. And in the south of it there's a lot of reefs where you can surf, and on all 3 islands you can go for diving, and you can see a lot of sharks and turtles and all the underwater life, which is pretty amazing. And Gili Air is a mix between party and relax, so check out where you want to go. And you can go there from the Nusa Islands or from Bali pretty cheap, like $30 each, and you get the ferry boat over to the Gili Islands. And from Gili Islands it's not far, it's like a few kilometers over to Lombok, the next big island. If you arrive at Lombok and you're coming from the Gili Islands, you are arriving in the north of Lombok. There are transportation services which you can book already in advance, or you can book it there in the harbor. You have to go down south of Lombok. In the south there's a city called Kuta as well, and like on Bali, and there's where everything is happened for the travelers. So it's a little bit touristic town. It's a little bit like Canggu on Bali, and you can find a lot of different restaurants, different bars, pretty cool parties. The wave in front is not pretty good, but the motorbikes are pretty cheap in Lombok as well, and so you can discover all the beaches around. In the south there are a lot of uncrowded beaches. Some beaches are pretty famous, some beaches are not that famous, and you can find everything, like for the beginners and for intermediates and professionals. So just check it out, because it's a lot more quiet. It's a totally different vibe than on Bali, and it's I think it will be the next Bali in the next 10 years. But at the moment it's quiet, it's relaxed, you have a lot of waves, it's not that crowded, and you have a lot of good reef breaks, you have got a good longboard waves, and there's everything you need on Lombok, and it's not that crowded and not that party kind of people in there. I would recommend to take 10 to 14 days on Bali, like 1 week on the Nusa Islands, like a few days only on the Gili Islands, and then 2 weeks on Lombok as well. So you have enough time to check it out and check every surf spot and enjoy the nightlife and the whole traveling. And yeah, I hope the COVID-19 crisis will be over soon and everyone can go traveling and then check out Bali, Lombok and the islands around it. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time, guys.